What's up, guys? Nate, the old school otaku here, and I've had a few of these boxes full of very interesting goodies sitting around here waiting to open up for quite some time. So why don't you join me as I open these up, see what's inside, and talk about some of the really cool stuff that I picked up over the last little while since the last time we talked. So if you want to see what's all inside of these, as well as the brand new opening, stay tuned. And welcome back. So, like I said, over the last year or so, I've had a chance to actually get quite a few things in the mail. A couple of different packages, a couple of different things that I picked up. And I wanted to kind of start this trek through everything that we've gotten here at the Otaku abode over the last a little over a year or so. By starting off with opening up some of these packages that I've received and hadn't really had a chance to open up before. So let's go ahead and get started, see what all's inside here, and then move on from there. So first up is this lovely box here, and I received this, well, actually, sadly at this point, about a year or so ago, and I'm fairly certain exactly what's inside here, because, well, I definitely opted for this. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm pretty sure what's inside here is the Riding Bean Kickstarter set that I opted to help kickstart. So, Robert always does a really good job with the with these Animigo Kickstarters with these different things. So I don't expect that this is going to have any sort of issues really. And if there were issues, I probably would have already heard about them and pretty much gotten them all squared away. So it's definitely cool to finally actually open this up. I really wanted to do this on camera because of just how awesome, cool, and special it is. So. Comes in this interesting clam box, and then it's packed very well here with the with this bubble wrap. So we'll go ahead and get that bubble wrap off to the side here. Actually, I'll throw it onto the floor. And what all does this come with? Now, I seem to remember that there was a manufacturing issue with one of the discs, and that's the reason why there's this extra disc in here. Yeah, and it even says here, due to a manufacturing error, the Blu-ray in your package was produced using the DVD disc art, rather than the proper Blu-ray disc art. We have included another Blu-ray with the correct art in a paper sleeve. Please swap the discs to correct your set and keep the extra Blu-ray as a backup. So, that's really cool. This is the actual artwork that's supposed to go into the Blu-ray, and then the artwork that came in here actually came in the set is wrong due to a manufacturing error. And I seem to remember hearing about all of this and that this was going to be fixed, and this was how it was going to be fixed, because by the time they realized the error, the packaging had already pretty much been done, so there really wasn't much to do here. And, you know, like I've done and talked about with all of these Kickstarters, there's always some extra special things that come into it and whatnot. And I seem to remember, I think I did get a copy of the Dragster and whatnot, the buff, but I think in the end that wound up. I think I already received that, or no, that was the May figure that was kind of smaller than I thought, and I opted not to go with the buff. Instead, I opted for a few other things, because, yeah, you had a chance to actually kind of pick and choose what extras that you had come in. So I've got the, you know, super high octane edition case here, special edition with some cool stuff in here, and then obviously the extra disc, and then there's this extra bit of material here, which is the things that I opted for. So let's go ahead and dig in, and so I can kind of show you guys what I had opted for. So what I wound up opting to get is my extra items here is a Roadbuster patch and a buff keychain. So the patch here will kind of show you this. This is really cool. I really enjoyed the patches so far, and one of the things I do plan on doing is when I really find my way into a nice good denim jacket, I like to wear denim jackets, is I actually plan to take some of these patches and actually put them on it and whatnot. But so here's the Roadbuster patch. Cool. Definitely awesome. And then we have the buff keychains. So on one side it says buff, and on the other side you've got Rally and Bean hanging out there. And so this is really cool. It's pretty heavy, pretty sturdy, very substantial there. And, you know, it's possible this, I might actually throw this onto my keyring, onto my keychain. So we'll kind of see how it goes. I like to try and keep things very balanced, but modern cars, you don't even necessarily need a key to crank anymore. Instead, it's all push button and whatnot. So this would be kind of cool, something to add in there. And then obviously the patch, which I love the artwork. It's an interesting scene. I remember this from the show, so that's definitely cool. So let's take a look at this disc, because this is the actual disc art that is supposed to come with it. So I can pop it out here and kind of show you guys what it is. You know, because one of the things we did choose was the artwork on the discs, so it was definitely cool to see that. So here's the Blu-ray edition and the actual artwork that's supposed to be on it, so that's definitely awesome. So let's open her up. Right now she's still got the cellophane on it, so we'll actually open it up so we can see inside here. And I can show you guys what all the package comes with. Can't believe I waited so long to actually open this thing up. So what we got here is your standard case. So you got your front, middle, and back. Really cool, cool new piece of artwork that Sonata-san made. And then writing being high octane, and then you got your standard basic information right there. And then on the inside we've got the actual Blu-ray itself, Blu-ray case, and then the art book and extra art pieces, and I think there's supposed to be a manga or something that went with all of this. Might be in here further. Got a few screenshots, some of the new artwork, and then a whole lot of character designs, and that's Rally with her underwear. It's really cool, all the different pieces that actually went into building this out. The comic might actually be in the thing, actually, so we'll kind of go there. So you've got the art book, you know, and some of the new artwork, and then on the inside you've got some information here. This is Sonata-san and his some information there, some more pieces of artwork, some of the screenshots. You've got character models and different pieces of information and whatnot. So this is really cool. One of the things that I've always really enjoyed about the way Kenichi Sanada, how he does things, is he gets very technical with his car designs, with the way he does the guns and all this other stuff. So it's really awesome to see a lot of this pre-material and things that he's already that he was working on for this. So that's definitely really awesome. And then obviously you've got the Blu-ray itself. So up here you got the front cover and then the rear cover. All new, cool, awesome extra artwork, which is definitely sweet. Some more information on here. So it's a 45-minute OVA with some extras and whatnot, presented in 4:3 on both Blu-ray and on on DVD in this set. You're looking at English and Japanese audio with English subtitles and whatnot. Some of the stuff it has on here is color, mono, and SDH English subtitles, 3 commentary tracks. So there's Kenichi Sanada and Airi Masho, who's regular and ethanol blended, Gillis Potras and Robert Woodhead live from Anime Fest, and image galleries and some trailers. So that's definitely cool. Let's go ahead and open her up and see the inside. So you've got the, like I had said, is you have what's called the DVD artwork. So that's actually the same artwork that went onto the original DVD. So I've got a couple copies of the Writing Bean DVDs. So the original Writing Bean. So you've got that artwork and that artwork. See how that's kind of the same. So there is definitely that. So might as well go ahead and pull out this Blu-ray, put the actual Blu-ray and cover that it's supposed to be, and then store the extra. And then I might be able to keep the extra inside, or maybe not. That might not actually fit. But this is a reversible cover, so we'll go ahead and pull the cover off here real quick so you can see the other side. So if you don't want the standard cover, you can get the extra back cover as well. And so there's some cool extra artwork there, which is definitely sweet. I don't know if I'm going to do the reversible cover for this one here, but the option is always appreciated. And at the very least, I have the option to do so, if I so desire. So you've got that, and then it comes with a couple other pieces. So this here is okay. So this is the extra manga. So it's in this cutout here. You got some interesting extras, and I don't think I've ever seen these before. Everything About Writing Bean, Episode 1. To the left, it's Los Angeles. Everything About Writing Bean, Episode 2. To the right, it's Universal Studios. Some more of these extra items. I think this is some of the Laserdisc extras and things that came with the original Japanese versions, and there's definitely been some translations here, so you can kind of see all of that. So that's really cool. And then on the back side is the new extra comic, freshly drawn just for this. So that's definitely awesome. I'm going to sit down and read this a little bit later. Well, we're still busy going through everything. And then this looks like the extra poster that they come out with. So you've got a couple sides to it. We'll try and be careful so I don't rip it. So you've got the big side that was chosen. This was the artwork for the poster. And then the other side has got a really cool scene, and then inside there is all of the people who who put their name on it. So I'm sure my name is in here. Uh, it's just trying to find it. Hey, there I am. I see me. Yeah, that was a scene that's from. This is from Beans basically grabbing a grenade out of thin air and tossing it to the side. So that's really awesome. It's definitely one of the things that I enjoy about these is that they always have some really cool extras, and because it's all part of this Kickstarter campaign, basically you get a chance to kind of dictate how the final thing's going to come out, where some of that extra money is going to go to, what extras are going to show up in the set, and different things like that. So it's really cool being part of this, and it's one of the reasons why I took part of the Gunsmith Cats one, and I definitely cannot wait for that to finally come out here. I think sometime next year. But yeah, that's the Riding Bean High Octane set. Finally got a chance to open it up and show you guys what all's inside. So that's really cool. I can't wait to pop that in and do some stuff with it. I've actually been waiting on that Blu-ray so that I can make a nice, cool, high quality transfer and whatnot for an AMV project that I'm thinking of working on. So that will definitely be awesome. But let's go ahead and let's move on to the next box. This one here came from Amazon, and I think I remember what this was that I had ordered, but let's find out together, shall we? Ooh, oh yeah, that's what this is. I think I had a couple other boxes, but I may have actually opened those already. I thought this was something else, but that's okay. What do I have here? Well, I have Queen Emeraldis Volume 2. This is the hardcover manga, Leiji Matsumoto's manga here, produced by Kodansha Comics. They've been coming out with these hardcover editions of the original Leiji Matsumoto manga series. So you've got Queen Emeraldis, they also have Captain Harlock and whatnot. So it's really cool to actually get a hold of these so I can, read the original story that basically spawned the OVA, the 4-episode OVA, and get some more extra backstory here with Emeraldis, the Queen Emeraldis, and everything else. So I really, really enjoy Matsumoto's artwork. He's one of my favorite manga creators over in Japan, and all of his storylines and whatnot with these characters I really, really enjoy. Be it Harlock, be it Emeraldis, be it Tenchiro, Mattel, all of those. So I very much enjoy a lot of this stuff, and it's really cool. And just looking at, the back here, so the fate of the mysterious pirate queen. Emeraldis navigates the Sea of Stars and swears to do so until the flame of her life is extinguished. Aboard her ship, the Queen Emeraldis, she sails in search of a certain object, and along the way encounters the passions and tragedies of those who dare brave the infinite reaches of space. Among them, Hiroshi Umino, the Earth boy who escaped his home planet to follow his dreams, has remained in Emeraldis' mind, and it seems fate will have them meet again. So this is Volume 2, so they introduce Hiroshi in Volume 1 and whatnot, but I remember the character from the OVA. But there's also back here some praise for Matsumoto. From Daft Punk, Matsumoto is a big source of our inspiration. His show Captain Harlock was the main cartoon we were influenced by when we were kids. And that's one of the reasons why Daft Punk got together with Matsumoto in order to make the 5555, the Legend of the Secret Star System, Interstellar, which is the basic music. It's basically the music video to the Discovery album, the Daft Punk's Discovery album, which is the whole entire album in animated musical form, and it's really awesome. If you ever have a chance to go look for that, I encourage you to check that out, because if you're into Daft Punk it's the Discovery album, so that's always really cool. And if you like old anime and some of these other things, so it's really cool too. And it's got a really interesting storyline, and it's told all through the music. Not necessarily, there isn't really any spoken dialogue. There are some sound effects and other things, but for the most part, everything is just told through the music, which is really, really cool. But yeah, I enjoy actually having this. So now I have both volumes of the manga to sit down and enjoy. So there is that. So truth be told, that's really the only boxes that I haven't already sat down and opened up. But I wanted to talk about a few other pickups here as well to kind of round out this episode. And then I've got a lot more stuff to talk about. There's all of the laser discs and things that I picked up from Youmacon last year, and a whole lot of other stuff to talk about. So we'll get a chance to talk about a lot of other stuff here coming up in future episodes. But for now, let's talk about a couple more things here. And I don't have the box to open this one up. But what I have here is something I've been looking forward to getting a hold of copies of, and I've been trying to recollect this manga in its original forms, but now that Kodansha has taken over and is coming out with these hardcover editions of these, it's making it a lot easier to get a hold of it. But what am I talking about? I'm talking about the original cyberpunk classic, Battle Angel Alita. Like I said, this is the hardcover edition from Kodansha Comics, which is supposed to soon be a major Hollywood motion picture, and we've actually seen some of the artwork and stuff from it. Looks a little weird, but, we'll pass judgment when it's actually time to see it. But this is the definitive edition of the original sci-fi martial arts epic with a new translation, new design with color pages, and an original introduction by Brendan Fletcher, Batgirl Motor Crush. That's cool. I didn't remember that being part of it. So, like when they say you've got some color pages, you've got the forward and whatnot here. Some of the fights, and like I said, color pages. So that's really cool. And here's Rusty Angel. I really enjoyed this manga. I remember reading this originally and getting some of the information here after finding out some of the stuff, and I've never really got a chance to read the whole thing. So it's really awesome to start collecting these volumes and basically get the whole story. I've really only seen the original OVA and read the very first volume of Battle Angel Alita, and this actually, the first English volume. This deluxe edition actually has more than the first volume in it. I think it's got 2 volumes worth in this, and it's a nice big book. I mean, look at the difference between Emeraldus, which is more standard US manga size, and then you got the Battle Angel Alita, which is bigger. So these are really cool, very substantial books. Definitely awesome centerpieces that I can throw up onto my shelf when I have a chance to display all of the manga and stuff that I happen to have as well, because you see all the DVDs behind me. I've also got quite a few of these too. So yeah, either way, this is really awesome. It's still out there. You can pick it up from Amazon. Same with Queen Emeraldus. So if you're interested in looking into either of these, I encourage you to go ahead and do so. So moving on, I want to talk about a couple of things that me and Ruchan had actually picked up while we were in Hawaii for our honeymoon back in late November, early December. So we went to Maui for our honeymoon, and while we were there, we were looking for a couple of things. So one of the things that I was looking for quite some time is a copy of King's Quest, the brand new King's Quest that Sierra brought out. I've seen the Game Grumps play it and a few other people play it, and definitely looked like something fun and interesting to get into. It's kind of like the old classic Sierra adventure series, but modern graphics and acting and whatnot. I mean, the character of the king is played by why can't I remember his name? But he played Doc from Back to the Future. I really don't. There'll be a name here, but either way, it's really cool the way this is presented. And one of the things is I've seen it in all the resale shops, but the resale shops, the final basically the disc only comes with chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whereas Chapter 5 and the epilogue are download codes that are in the full version. So I wanted to get a full unopened copy, and I wanted it for PlayStation 4. I've been able to find copies for the Xbox, but not for the PS4. So while we were in Maui and at Walmart, of all places, picking up a couple of groceries and some things, we decided to pop over, check out what they have in the electronics section, see how much more expensive things were over there than they were on the mainland. And, well, found a copy of King's Quest for the PlayStation 4. So that was definitely really cool. And in the end, this only costed $20 over in Maui. So even the cost was really worthwhile, and it was definitely worth the extra surcharge of shipping it back over with all of our luggage and everything back over. But it was definitely really cool to pick up, and I can't wait to sit down and play it. But the really cool thing that we picked up while we were there is a comic shop that we found out on Maui. And we're like, well, you know what? We're geeks. We want to geek it up a little bit. Let's go check out what the local comic book shop is like on the island of Maui. And so you go to the big city in the center of the island, and there is this comic shop. And it's kind of funny the way everything's laid out. The area that you're driving in to get there, it looks like it's all run down. It's old, industrial style thing. And then here's this comic shop, and some really cool guys run it. It's called, I believe it's Maui Comics. And they were setting up a brand new shop at the time, and it was cool to get a chance to sit down and, well, not really sit down, but just, hang out there, chat with the guys about some of the different things going on, the conventions and whatnot that they were trying to bring out, and the different things that they were trying to do to enhance that geek culture there on the island. And, also to see what exactly they had, what their wares were. And, they had a few video games and some other things. So we wound up picking up Bubsy 1 and Bubsy 2 for the Super Nintendo because Ruchan apparently really needed it. And what I found that was really interesting is this. And I had never, ever heard of this before. And I've since found out that this is kind of, in some ways, a bootleg-ish type thing. It's something that wasn't really considered a on the up and up type of thing. Kind of more of it's kind of a doujinshi, but it's a U.S. comic doujinshi. And what am I talking about? Well, Star Trekker. So this was published by Antarctic Press. It's considered parody humor. Originally was $10 for this book, and in the end I got it for a pretty good price down there at Maui Comics. And it was written, and the artwork and everything was done by Atelier Lana. And so what is this? Well, this is a all-encompassing story of a group of characters who are on the Constellation 2, and as you can tell, this is original series Star Trek after Star Trek 2 when they redesigned the uniforms and whatnot. And it basically follows, here, attention all members of the Federation, the Constellation 2 is ready to leave dry dock for space. It is being commanded by Commander Aya Nakajima and her crew of misfits. And her is spelled H-E-R-E. So here, crew of misfits. Join in on the fun as the crew have endless parties, go back in time to eat whale, fight Klingons for fun, face off with the famous crew of the Enterprise, and much, much more. See why the USS Enterprise is the only focus of the Star Trek series. So, yeah, it's an interesting comic. I've looked at it a little bit here, and you can definitely tell that this has seen slightly better days. It's used. There's a few scuffs and dings on it, but overall, it's very, very well done, and it's presented in a black and white kind of manga-ish style and whatnot, and it kind of shows this very interesting, weird group of misfit characters and whatnot. So, I mean, you've got like here we go. There's Kirk, and then there's Nakajima. And they're kind of hanging out together and doing stuff, and it's got some weird, crazy hijinks. It definitely has a little bit of that, that manga and Japanese flair to it, but still within the Star Trek universe. And I will say, I was definitely a Trekkie before I became an anime fan of any type. And it was really cool to basically see things like this and get a chance to actually take a look at it. I can definitely tell the quality of the printing is a little bit on the low side. I mean, it's basically a standard black and white print. Some of the Pantones are a little off. Some of the darks are a little too dark. This is definitely probably a copy of a copy eventually, perhaps. But overall, not too bad. It's definitely an interesting thing to see. It's not your full-on quality of whatnot, but still pretty good. I mean, a lot of doujinshi has similar quality to it. So there is definitely that, and it's cool to see something like that. I mean, I'd never heard of it before, and after I knew I wanted it before I even looked it up at all. I knew just because it's Star Trek, I had to have it. So I then looked it up and found that this book is in some regards kind of rare, and I found it while I was across the pond on the island of Maui. So that was really cool. I knew I needed to pick that up and bring it home, and I'm glad it survived the trip across the Pacific and across pretty much the continental U.S. back over here to Michigan and whatnot. So that's really cool. But yeah, that's really kind of it, as it were, for everything I wanted to talk about today. Didn't want to keep this going on too long, but either way, I've got quite a few more videos coming out here, guys, so got quite a bit of content to talk about. A bunch of Blu-rays, well, yeah, a bunch of Blu-rays, a lot of DVDs that we picked up, some manga, some different more pieces of manga, and lots and lots of laser discs. So stay tuned for more of that. If this is your first time tuning into any of my videos, thank you for listening to me up to this point, and I encourage you to go check out some of my other videos, linked at the end card and whatnot, as well as, if you do like this content and want to see more of it, I encourage you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, get subscribed, and then hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I release new videos. Hopefully you'll be front row and center whenever I release something new, and, feel free to, comment in the comment section below, what you guys think about some of the stuff that I picked up, or some of the things, some more things that you would like to see here in the future. Feel free to hit me up in the comments below, as well as on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook. All of those social media links are in the description below, or as well on the website. So all of those are there, and I encourage you to take a moment and maybe even help me out on Patreon. Every little bit helps, so either way, or just share them out to your friends, somebody else that you think might actually enjoy some of this content. But either way though, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with me up to this point, and I look forward to seeing you next time. This is Nate, the old school otaku, signing off. Actually pretty heavy and whatnot, and that's actually the Rotobasta, and you got the Star Trekker, and the King's Aquesta, and the Queen Emeraldessa, and the Battle Angel Alita.